they are serving the whole body. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa is the supreme whole, and we are his parts and parcels. Therefore, our duty is to serve him. This is our constitutional position. Jiver Sarup Hai Nitya Kṛṣṇa Das. We cannot become Kṛṣṇa. We are eternally Kṛṣṇa's servitors, part and parcel. This is real conclusion. Qualitatively one. Just like this finger, you can call it body, but it is part and parcel of the body. Similarly, the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, you may call God, but he is not the Supreme God. Supreme God is Kṛṣṇa. Ishara Parama Kṛṣṇa, Satchidananda Vigraha. So, Anasina Aprameyas, Anasina, it cannot be destroyed. Although it is very minute, Aprameyas, you cannot measure. You have no such measuring method that you can measure the soul's breadth and length and breadth. In geometry, they finish it, the point has no length and breadth. But that is not the fact. The point has also length and breadth, but we cannot measure it. Aprameya. Similarly, there is length and breadth of the soul also. That is also mentioned in the Vedic literature. Little backside. It is said in the Puranas, Kesagra Satobhagasya Satodha Kalpitasya cha Jiva Bhaga Savigneya Sa Anantaya Kalpate. The spirit soul is measured. First of all, divide the tip of your hair into 100 parts. And then take one part again and again divide it into 100 parts. That portion is the measurement of the soul. Or in other words, 1/10,000 part of the tip of your hair. Now you have no measuring instrument. Therefore, because we have no measuring instrument, although the soul is there within this body, we cannot find it out. Although the soul and the super soul both are situated within the heart, and the heart is the center of all vitality, energy of this body, that is accepted, but we have no eyes to see the soul or the super soul because these material eyes are blunt, imperfect. You cannot see so many things. I cannot see even my eyelids, the nearest, and I cannot see which is far, far away, distant place. So all our senses are imperfect. By imperfect senses, you cannot see the spirit, soul. You cannot see even the spirit soul. How you can see the supreme soul, God? That is not possible. You have to purify your senses. Then you can see. Ata Sri Kṛṣṇa namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. The present blunt senses, material senses, all are imperfect. Even we hear the Lord's name, namadi, Atha Sri Kṛṣṇa namadi. Just like we are chanting, one who is spiritually advanced he is enjoying this Hare Krishna, Krishna's name. But those who are blunt, they will see, they will think what these people are chanting. Because he has no power to hear. Ata Sri Krishna Namadi. But realization of Sri Krishna begins by hearing. That is the method. Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu. If you hear about Krishna, if you chant about Krishna, then gradually your heart will be cleansed. Cheta darpana marjanam. Bhava mahadavagni nidvapanam. By chanting and hearing, the dirty things within the heart will be cleansed. Then you will understand what is your position in relationship with God. You will understand what is God. Therefore, in this age especially, Kali Yuga, because people cannot perform any other austerities, they are unable. They are so dull. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya jupadita. This is the position of the people of this age. Prayena alpayayusa. Generally, their span of life is very short. It is decreasing day by day. As our forefathers lived 90 years, 100 years, now we are not living up to such extent of ages. Generally, people are dying. In India, the average age is 35 years. In other countries, maybe a little more. But gradually, it is decreasing. And it will decrease to such a point that even if a man lives for 20 to 30 years, then he will be considered as grand old man. That day will come. So, this age, therefore Shastra says, prayena alpayus. Generally, almost everyone is short living. Prayena alpayusa kalau asmin yuge jana. Asmin yuge kalau. They are very short living. Then again, mandya, all rascals. Mandya, third class, no first class men, practically no Brahminical qualification, all Sudra qualification. Therefore, mandya, sumanda matayo. And if one comes forward to be spiritually enlightened, he accepts something bogus, which has no meaning, without any reference to the Shastras. Therefore, manda sumanda matayo. They have got an opinion, and that is going on. You may have any opinion, that is all right. This foolishness is going on in this age. Manda samanda matayo. Manda bhagya, and most unfortunate. Everyone is practically unfortunate. Nobody has certainty what he will eat tomorrow or in the evening. Everywhere, don't think only it is in India. In America, when I went there, I thought everyone is very rich. There are so many poor men. They are lying on the street. The street-lying population is everywhere, either in India or in America or in England. I have seen. The first class, second class, third class man will remain there. You may have a try to make everyone first class. The division, first class, second class, third class will go on. That is nature's arrangement. Manda samanda matayo, manda bhagya, jupadrita, and disturb. Just like today's strike, unnecessary. Disturbance. So many disturbance everywhere, all over the world, because the population has degraded. They must be like that. This is the way. Therefore, anyone is interested for spiritual advancement, he should take to this Krishna consciousness movement, which is principally chanting Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama iva kevalam. Kalo nastiva, nastiva, nastiva gatirannatha. In this age, you cannot practice yoga, mystic yoga practice, meditation. It is not possible. It is very difficult. You cannot arrange for big sacrifices. That is also not possible. Therefore, 3 times it is said, nastiva, nas. You cannot take to the yogic principle, you cannot take to the ritualistic ceremonies, you cannot take to the temple worship also. It is very difficult. Kalau na kriteja dhyato Vishnu tritayang jajato makhai dapare parichajayang kalau tat harikirtanat. This is the injunction of the Shastra. That in the Satyajug, when people used to live for 100,000 of years, at that time yogic principle meditation was possible. And in the Treta Yuga, the performance of big sacrifices was possible. Because things were available, there were yogic Brahmins. In this age, practically, there is no yogic Brahman who can perform yoga, no competent Brahman. Therefore, performance of sacrifices is not possible. The only performance of sacrifice is this, as we are performing, Hare Krishna festival. That is stated, Jaggai Sankirtanai Prayai Jajanti Hi Sumedhasa. Jaggai Sankirtanai. In this age, Kali Yuga, no other sacrifices is possible. Only sacrifice. This is sacrifice. Jaggai Sankirtan. That's why we are doing in a small scale. But it can be done in larger scale. But people are not interested. People are not interested. They have lost all brain. Sumedhasa and Alpamedhasa. These two words are used in this Shastra. Alpamedhasa, medha means brain substance. So those who are Alpamedhasa, they means less brain substance. Antavattu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpamedhasa. Alpamedhasa, less intelligent, less brain substance. They worship different demigods. Kamastasta hitagyana jajante annadevata. The annadevatas are there, but who are attracted to worship other demigods? Those who are lusty. Kamastasta hitagyana. These are the statements in the Bhagavad Gita, you know. Those who are lusty, and being lusty, they have lost their senses. Hitagyana. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, Hitagyana, nasta buddhaya, no intelligence. Kamastasya hitagyana, jajanti anna devata, antavattu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpamedhasa. So, in this age, this is simply waste of time. If you actually interested in spiritual advancement of life, if you divert your attention in so-called worship of this demigod, that demigod, this demigod, then you will simply waste your time. There will be no advancement. And even you become perfect in worshipping the demigods, then what will be your profit? The profit will be Janti Deva Brata Devan. You can go to the planets where the demigods live. But the planets and this material world, everything will be annihilated. Antavattu phalam tisa. Suppose you are promoted to the Brahmaloka. That is also antavat. It will be finished. Because by the end of Brahma's duration of life, everything within this universe will be finished. Therefore, antavat. That is not permanent. But if you manage to go back to home, back to Godhead, then jadagatyana nivattanti tadhama param. That is perfect life. So, anyone who is not interested in perfect life, they will be allured by this so-called demigod worship. Antavattu. But those who are intelligent, these are the activities of the alpamedhas. But one who is sumedhasa, sumedha, one who has got good brain substance, for him in this age it is recommended jagai sankirtanai prayai jajanti hi sumedhasa. Kṛṣṇa varnang tisa Kṛṣṇaṃ śāṅgapāṅgāsa pārsadam jagai sankirtanai prayai jajanti hi sumedhasa. Kṛṣṇa varna. Kṛṣṇa himself, Kṛṣṇa or Kṛṣṇam varnayati, the one, the incarnation of God, who will chant always Kṛṣṇa. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached this Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra. Therefore, Kṛṣṇam varnayati iti Kṛṣṇa varnam. Kṛṣṇa varnam tisa akṛṣṇam. Tisa, by complexion, is akṛṣṇa, not Kṛṣṇa, not black. Kṛṣṇa appeared blackish, not blackish as we imagine. Kandarpa kotika maniya. Kṛṣṇa, although he is blackish, he is attractive more than millions of cupids. Kandarpa kotika maniya visesa sobham. Govindamadi purusam tamahang maya. So, anyway, Kṛṣṇa appears in 4 colors. Red, black, yellow and white in different ages. So, in this age, Kali Yuga, Kṛṣṇa appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yellow color. Kṛṣṇa varnam tisa akṛṣṇam. Akṛṣṇa may be red, akṛṣṇa may be white, but this akṛṣṇa means pito, yellow. Because other akṛṣṇa, red and white, was in the Satyayuga and Treta Yuga. Therefore, here akṛṣṇa means the yellow. Kṛṣṇa varnam tisa Kṛṣṇam śāṅgapāṅgāstra pārsadam. He is always surrounded by his intimate devotees. He is surrounded by many devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wherever he was going, thousands and thousands of people were following his Sankirtan. But especially he was always surrounded by 5 special devotees. Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavid. He is himself, Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya, his expansion, Nityananda, his incarnation, Sri Advaita Prabhu, his internal energy, Gadadhar, and his external marginal energy, Advaita Prabhu, Sivas. But he has got another energy which is called external energy. External energy cannot come in front of God, Kṛṣṇa. This is Maya. Just like darkness cannot come in front of the sun. Kṛṣṇa Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Jaha Kṛṣṇa taha nahi Mayar adhikar. This material world is dark. It is called Tama. Tamasi ma jyotirgama. The Vedic instruction is don't remain in this material world. Come to the spiritual world. Spiritual world. Jasya prabha prabhavatu jagadanna koti. Kotishu asesa vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma niskalam anantam asesa bhutam. So, come to the Brahma platform, Brahma Jyoti. Don't remain within this darkness. So therefore, in this age, Kṛṣṇa varnang tisā Kṛṣṇaṃ sāṅgapāṅgāsta pārsadam jaggai sankirtanai prāyai jajanti hi sumedas. This is intelligence. To chant sankirtan, bahubhi militva kirtayati. We are assembling in big assembly, just like we are trying to introduce. It is very easy. Chant. Thousands and thousands of people, never mind what he is. It doesn't matter whether he is learned or fool, rich or poor, or black or white, or Brahman or Sudra, no consideration. Come together, chant Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra. Jaggai sankirtanai prāyi, jajanti hi sumedas. Your brain will be cleansed. It is so easy. It is so nice and so perfect according to the instruction of the Vedas. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama iva kevalam. Repeatedly in every Vedic literature and practically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced practically. And he asked every Indian to go outside India and preach this called Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra. But we are not doing that. We are going outside our country to beg only, not to give. And here is a prime gift you can give all over the world. Your country will be glorified. They are anxious for this. Prithivite ache jato nagoradi gram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction. As many towns and villages are there on the surface of the globe, everywhere this Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, Lord Chaitanya's name, will be celebrated. That is being done. There is immense field for introducing this Hare Kṛṣṇa cult all over the world. That is practical. Unfortunately, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted the matter to every Indian, not that to the Bengalis, because he appeared in Bengal. He never said for the Bengalis. He said, Bharat bhumite manusya janma hoila ja. On this holy land of Bharatvarsha, anyone who has taken his birth as a human being, he should make his life perfect. Janma sarthak kori. You cannot preach without making your life, first of all, perfect. If I remain imperfect, I cannot preach. One must be perfect. That is not very difficult. We have got direction of great sages and saintly persons and God, Kṛṣṇa himself. So, to make our life perfect is not at all difficult. We are simply neglecting. That is our misfortune. Mandasa mandamatayo mandabhagya. Because we are mandamata, we have accepted some bogus logic, bogus ism, and wasting our time. We should take from the Shastra the real path, then we shall become intelligent. Sumedhasa. Jaggai sankirtanai prāyai jajanti hi sumedhasa. This shortcut method. Intelligent class of man will take this sankirtan movement for his spiritual elevation of life. It is a fact, it is scientific, it is authorized. So, don't neglect. Take this chanting of Hare Kṛṣṇa, heart and soul, and anywhere. Niyamita smaranena kala. There is no rules and regulation that you have to chant at this time, at that time, in this position, at that position. No. Because it is especially meant for this fallen conditioned soul. There is no hard and fast rule. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shakti tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala. The name, the holy name of Kṛṣṇa is as powerful as Kṛṣṇa. There is no difference between Kṛṣṇa and his name. Kṛṣṇa is absolute. Therefore, there is no distinction between Kṛṣṇa's name, Kṛṣṇa's form, Kṛṣṇa's quality, Kṛṣṇa's entourage, Kṛṣṇa's pastime. from Kṛṣṇa. Everything is Kṛṣṇa. If you hear about Kṛṣṇa, then you should know that you are touching Kṛṣṇa by oral reception. If you see Kṛṣṇa, the deity, that means you are seeing personally Kṛṣṇa. Because Kṛṣṇa is absolute. He can accept your service anyway, because he is everything. Ishavāsamidam sarvam. He is energy. Parasya brahmana shakti, sarvedam akhilam jagat. Everything Kṛṣṇa is energy. So, if we are in touch with Kṛṣṇa's energy, with little knowledge, we are direct in touch with Kṛṣṇa. This is the process. As you become constantly in touch with Kṛṣṇa, that is Kṛṣṇa consciousness, then you become purified. Purified. Just like if you put one iron rod in the fire, it becomes warmer, and at last it becomes red hot. When it is red hot, it is fire. It is no more iron rod. Similarly, if you keep always in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, you become Kṛṣṇaized. This is the process. Then everything becomes purified. Then your spiritual life is manifested. Then your life is successful. So, the first beginning is, as it is said by Kṛṣṇa, Antavattai me deha. Don't be attached with this body. The body is material. But even this body is material. It can be spiritualized by the same process, by Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Spiritualized means when this body will forget the materialistic activities. This body you can utilize for sense gratification. Just generally people are doing. Eating, sleeping, mating, and drinking, and so on. So you can utilize this body, that is material. But if you engage this body for the service of the Lord, it becomes spiritualized. As I have already explained, the iron rod, constantly in touch with fire, it becomes, at the end, it becomes red hot. That is fire. At that time, it acts as fire. You touch that red hot iron rod, anywhere it will burn. Similarly, this body can be spiritualized, although it is material body. How? Sevanmukhi hi jivbhadau sameva spurattada manchavyabhicharini bhakti yogena jasevate sagunan samatitoi etan brahma bhuyaya kalpati. Brahma. Brahma bhuyaya kalpati. It at once becomes Brahma. Brahma bhuyaya kalpati. How? Abhyabhicharini bhakti yogena jasevate. Therefore this process or chant, everyone is engaged only in Kṛṣṇa's service. They are from the beginning of the day, 4 o'clock, they rise from the bed, they offer Mangalarutri. You are seeing practically. We are demonstrating the Kṛṣṇa consciousness, how one can become Kṛṣṇa conscious perfectly. Therefore we have brought this deity. Anyone can do it at home. Where is the difficulty? If these Europeans and Americans, they can do, our Indians, which is our heritage, we are born in this land of Bharatvarsh, we cannot do it. But we are neglecting. We are so fallen. Manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagya. We have become so unfortunate that we cannot take to this process. So, whatever we have done, that's all right. But now, this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is there. Everyone should take it very seriously and make his life perfect. Thank you very much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Accept that Kṛṣṇa is in every living entity. Therefore, they say that by serving humanity and your fellow man, that is serving Kṛṣṇa. Is that correct?
See, if you remain in a room to serve the room, does it mean they're serving you? You are within a room. Simply cleansing the room does it mean serving you? The present moment, what they are doing. Just like my Guru Maharaj used to say, a man has fallen on the water, and one brave man came. He said that I shall save this man. And he also jumped in the water and brought his coat and shirt. And he said, now the man is saved. Is it saving the man? So similarly, the service of humanity means they are serving the body. Where is the soul? They do not know how to serve. Just like washing the cage, and the bird within the cage, it is starving. Ta, ta, ta. So they do not know what is service. Jasyatma buddhi kunapeti dhatuke. They are thinking this body, that is we are explaining this morning. Antavatri me diha. This body is perishable, it is material. What is the use of serving it? However you serve it, it will destroy. Try to save the soul who is put into this body and embarrassed. That is real service. This is Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement. We are trying to save the soul. The body, however you try to save it, it will antavatimi deha. It will end. Today or tomorrow or after some years. You cannot save it. Save the soul. Nitta satta saririna. The saririna, the soul, which is within the body, that is nitta, eternal. Now, although it is nitta, it is fallen in certain condition of this material body, that it appears to be dying. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosha anudarsana. He is under the tribulation of birth, death, old age and disease on account of this material body. Therefore, if you actually want to give service to the humanity, then give service to the soul. And if you give service to the soul, automatically the body is also served. But if you stress on the body without, therefore, despite all arrangements for humanitarian work, the human society becoming worse and worse. Why? That is not service. They do not know how to serve. Illusion. Real service is this, Kṛṣṇa consciousness, to arouse the dormant Kṛṣṇa consciousness in every living entity. Nitya siddha Kṛṣṇa bhakti. To make him aroused in relationship with Kṛṣṇa. That is real service. So what is going on in the name of service, that is not service. That is simply washing the coat and shirt. That's all. Hare Krishna.